Let's welcome our star master, Rebecca Wong.
Morning, everyone. Thank you for having me. And I want to first send all of you guys my love. So we are all one Atomy family, no matter where we are in the world. And we connect ourselves through Atomy and through our hearts. And I'm so excited to be welcomed by, of course, my mentor and one of the person I love dearly, Grow Master Jason Shim. I'm surprised that he invited me because he was the one who encouraged me to really take Atomy seriously. When we first met Atomy, I think we all have question marks about what we want to do with this company. And although I love everything about Atomy when I did the research, I was afraid what can happen or what can't happen. But watching the very first person who really inspired me and really made me go, I'm going to do this, was your Royal Master, Jason Shim. So we can be mentored by every person. It does not necessarily have to be someone that sponsored you. So I like to see everyone's faces. I would like, if you guys have reactions, that would be great. And today, I think Jason gave me a lot of time. So I hope I don't bore you. My purpose to come on today is that we enjoy ourselves, we are educating ourselves, and hopefully I am able to inspire you to look further into this company if you're not already. And if you are a part of this Atomy family, of course, I would love to meet you all one day as well. So let me begin by introducing myself. My name is Rebecca Wong, yes, from Vancouver, Canada. And I was actually, I'm very content with life. Actually, Atomy is always talking about opportunity for ordinary people, right? And when I met Atomy, I never wanted something like this. I have no network background. I was already financially stable, and my kids are very well taken care of. They don't have to worry as well. So when CEO says, only people who are desperate will really make this happen, like Jason Shim's story, right? He is very desperate for the success for his family, and all he wanted was success for his family. I have a different story. So my story is not that I actually have the struggles of life. Although I was born in Vietnam, I came here when I was 8 years old. I had education in Canada. I was raised very naive, very simple, because over here we don't have the challenges like some of the countries have. So I'm surrounded by people who, are similar, simple-minded people in Canada, right? So I don't really have anything negative experience myself, except the part when I was younger that my parents risked their life, you know, trying to make enough money to bring us over to one of the camps to escape the war of Vietnam. But I was just a baby back then. So how would I know? What do I know? Even if I was in the camp for 5 years in Hong Kong, and one of my friend whose family also is in Vietnam, she's also in Atomy as well, and one of my partner as well. So although we have the struggles in the past, we got a ticket of life because we were immigrated to a country that is, everyone loves, right? We all know when people talk about Canadians, everyone says, oh, you guys are so kind and nice. We don't really bump heads with any country. We're like the peacemakers. So I ended up here, and my life was very simple. I went to school like anyone else. I graduated only as a high school student because looked, I never wanted to go to university, because anything that was offered in university, all the careers and the steps moving forward, I didn't want to be any of it. I don't want to be a teacher. I don't want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I don't want to be an engineer. I don't want to be any of it. So it's like, what do I want to be? That was my question. What do I want to do with myself after high school? And my mom is a hairdresser. So she owns a hair salon, and that's where I grew up. I grew up in the salon. So I sweep the floor, you know, a 10-year-old washing people's hair. That's how poor we are, right? She can't hire anyone. So when she's busy, she goes, Rebecca, can you wash this person's hair? And I was 10 years old, and I had to stand on a stool and I'm washing someone's hair. Can you imagine coming to my salon? I think you're like, what is going on with this salon? So we are just one operator, which is my mother. And I was raised in the salon. I go there to do my homework. I'm always living, you know, under my mom's rules. So I don't get to do very much things. She just expects me to be home. So long story short, we all end up working, right? And when I worked, I gave my 100%, if not more. I never take sick leave. I don't take company, we have, you know, massage and all these things. I never use them. So I worked for the company, slaving myself. But when I left the company, the working world, I realized that we are all just a number. Yes? They can replace you easily, right? So I worked for companies, and my heart was broken when I left the company that I sweat for. They literally, their increase of annual increase every single year was 50% because of what I did. So I drove the company from nothing to the second highest sales in the whole Canada. So I know how much effort I put into it. But what I got out of it was just thank you very much. And I was treated very poorly once I gave my resignation letter. And then I realized, what am I doing? Why am I spending so much time giving it all to, you know, they make millions, but what did I get? I got a paycheck. And afterwards, no appreciation once I trained the next manager. And then I started to be a little bit smarter. And I told myself, I'm going to work every single company, but I'm going to be the boss, meaning whatever position I got into, I'm going to learn as much as I can and take advantage for myself. So every company, I was only working for maybe 1-2 years and learn what they have to offer me. And then when I saw something better, I left. I did not attach myself to the company like I did before. And so my last company that I worked for before I left all corporations, because I am an esthetician. I have no high school degree, no university degree. So everything that I've done is in the beauty industry. When I left, the very last job that I had was a corporation that has 120 stores all over BC. I'm from BC, British Columbia. That is a province. So in my province, there's 120 stores, and I was the retail recruitment and talent specialist for that company called Shoppers Drug Mart. You might know about it. If not, it's okay, because they have over 1,000 something stores all across Canada. So in that role, I was hiring and succession planning for managers. How did I get this role as an esthetician? Because this role is actually a human resource role. I'm not in human resource. Remember, I didn't graduate university. How did I end up having a human resource position? It's impressive, right? For an esthetician. So everyone questioned me. It's like, what are you doing? How did they hire you? What's your credential? And you know what my answer was? People. I love people. I love cosmetics, but I love people more. So I want to impact people. And that's why this position was all about people. It was hiring, training, succession planning, promoting internal, hoping they will get better positions, and giving them a place that fits them, because I never see anything wrong with anyone. Because of that position, I know everyone will fit somewhere. So I always have to find the right fit. Does that even make sense? So you might not work well with this store, but you might work really well with another store. It doesn't mean that you were bad. It just means that maybe this store, you can't flourish in that store for some reason. Maybe the manager is not your type of style. But I think everyone working hard will always bring out the best of them in the right position. So that was what I learned from that. So when I left that position, because my husband said to me, you've been training people, but you have no time for your children. And that hurt me a little bit, right? I'm like, I have 2 kids. And then when he said that, I'm like, it's true. I'm never home. I fly. I'm like 7 days a week. I'm very busy and I live out of hotels, you know, most of the month. So I'm like, I don't have time for my kids. And then that's when I'm like, I think I should quit. although I love my job, I'm like, I think I should quit. Because every person I trained did not belong to me. It belonged to the company. And when I quit, all those people I trained, none of them belonged to me. Is that true? I got a paycheck, right? And I got experience, which was great. And then when Atomy came into my life, it was by accident. I didn't go looking for another position. I didn't go looking for another opportunity. I'm kind of one of those like lucky go, you know, what do you call it? Lucky go, what do they call it? Someone help me.
Happy-go-lucky.
Thank you. Happy-go-lucky. That's when people see me, that's what they see me. They're like, you're just like a happy-go-lucky kind of girl. And when I work anywhere, nothing can stress me out, even though it's stressful, because I don't care, right? Remember, I told you, right? Wherever I work, I'm just going there to get the experience, right? So I don't get emotionally involved in the dramas of, you know, the working world. So I'm just like a happy-go-lucky person all the time. And that's how I've always been. People see me as a happy-lucky-go person. And Atomy kind of I bumped into Atomy. I'll tell you a very funny story. The year before I met Atomy, I actually was writing, because I like to write journals. So this is my book, okay? I'm gonna finish soon. This is my last few pages of this book. So I write all the time. I'm a writer, okay? I'm always writing. So I learned to write because I learned to know myself. And before Atomy came, I still remember it's November of the year 2014. So I was writing on my journal. I said I guess, you know, I have talks with the creator, right? I said, what am I going to do with my life? Because that's all about what am I going to do with my life? And I said, if I can have anything, I would like to be paid $50,000 a month. And then I would like to give my skills, and anyone who come in contact with me, I hope they leave a better person. That was all I wrote. It was so simple, right? And lo and behold, Atomy came into my life in January. You know what the general commission was? Maximum $50,000 a month. So I'm like, oh, is this some calling for me? What is this? How is this so why $50,000 a month? Because that's what I want to make. I don't know why. I just wrote that number. It wasn't because I'm, like I told you, I'm not poor, right? I'm financially supported. My husband, he's very successful. My kids, they're very smart. I don't have to worry about them at all. They're graduating university this year. I don't know if you know UBC, but they're both graduating university this year in their field of choice. So I don't really think about money, but I wrote that for some reason. And the one who brought this product to me was one of my friends back then. She gave me the oral care. You know the oral care? But you know how she gave it to me? You're gonna laugh because I laugh all the time when I hear myself say this. She goes, you wanna make a donation? You give me $5 and I'll give you a oral care, toothbrush, toothpaste, travel set. And I'm like, what's $5, right? I don't care about $5. So I'm like, here, $5. And I got this oral care, Atomy. And I looked at it. I have no idea what this brand name was. I'm like, what's this Chinese word? Is it made from China? So I just put it in the drawer because I'm like, the brush is yellow. I didn't call it gold. I said, the brush is yellow. I'm like, it looks old. So I'm like, I don't really care for the look of the yellow on the bristles because I'm used to using white bristles. Anyways, that was how I was introduced to Atomy. And did I knew from that one toothbrush? I'm sitting here on Zoom with all you people. My life has changed dramatically. Now it's 6 years. In 6 years of committing myself to this company, the very first year, I think, I have no network industry. I have no network experience. You have to always remember this, okay? For someone who has no network business, I was learning everything from the bottom. And that year, I told myself, I'm gonna learn everything I can in the first year. So I went to every seminar. I never missed a seminar. Anything that's happening, I'm right there. Back then, you guys are so lucky. You have so many speakers, so many videos that you can go and research anything you want. Back then, no, right, Jason? Nothing. I think I was one of the speakers, just like Jason Shim was, who was speaking English. And, some other speakers. There was only a handful of English speakers. So I wanted to learn everything in the first year, and that was my commitment. The second commitment I had was I wanted to commit myself 5 years. And I just took it as my university because I'd never been to university. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go on Atomy University, okay? So that's what I did. 5 years, no quitting, no matter what happens. And during the first year, it was really hard. I kind of feel sorry for my partners who joined with me the first year because we're just figuring this out. I mean, Jason knows, I told him I don't have an upline support, so I don't have free PVs coming in or, free members coming down my left line, or I have none of that. I was just my own individual person because the person above me is my friend, right? So she was just a consumer, right? How can she teach me? She can't. I made the decision, CEO's video, Own Mind. She didn't tell me anything. She didn't need to know anything, but the decision was made by me, right? This is why Atomy is so special. All we need to do is keep sharing, keep talking, keep on sharing. Do not miss the opportunity to tell people that you are in Atomy. Because the person who makes the decision is not you. You cannot convince other people. Like I always say, don't give yourself so much, like if you really think you can control other people, you're actually delusional, I think people are delusional. When you think you can change people's mind, they change their own mind. I can control my own mind, but I am delusional if I think I can change someone else's mind. I can only tell them my story. I can only show them where to look. I can only be the support for them. But if they choose to stop, that's their choice. If they choose to be a consumer, that's their choice. If they choose the business, if they choose to share, that's their choice. But I would never stop my mind, right? I have control over my mind. And so CEO, if you haven't watched the video, Own Mind, you please go watch that video. And that is so true. So I made the decision to share for 5 years. In the 5 years, Atomy Canada was very tiny. There was only 3 staff, not like US, 3 staff. When I think about it, it's really funny. Why did I still stick to this company when everything is moving like a turtle here? Why did I do this? Because I saw the vision. I saw the company's vision, not so much my vision, but the company's vision. The company is giving us everything a consumer wants: absolute quality, absolute price, a free opportunity, a free platform for you to change and rewrite your life, to change your life. It's free. And an honest, ethical, even a front runner, a trend-setting company. Everything about this company is visionary. It is actually creating a movement. That's how I see this company as. So this company's vision is ginormous. Who am I? So I just have to trust this company's vision to create and follow our CEO. So the person who taught me the most is our founder. If you do not understand Atomy, or you think that Atomy doesn't work for you, it's because sometimes we think too much and think too highly of ourselves. The servant humility is very powerful. It means just serve and be humble with your service. If we are so full of ourselves, thinking that we are the one who is going to be successful, no. I learned in my 5-6 years, I learned some of my members, they are auto sales master and they don't do very much. I'm sure you have some in your lines too, right? And some people who work so hard day in, day out and cannot make auto sales master in a year. Do you have that in your line? Because I have that in my line. So is it your ability? No, it's the company's. The system works. So if you put too much stress on yourself, that's why your line is not moving. But if you just serve in humility, let the system work, trust the company, share the vision of this company, and you become auto sales master very quickly because you are not in the way of someone else's choice, someone else's skills, and someone else's talent. Atomy has been a platform for me. I don't see Atomy so much as a business. I see Atomy as a platform. That's why there are people who can become auto sales masters and never show their face. It's true. I have those people, not one, not two, maybe 5, 7. And then there's some people, I see them go on every seminar. They work so hard. They post, they share, they train. And then a year later, they're still not auto sales master. You have to see this. This is very powerful. And this is why Atomy works for everyone, right? Yes, no, maybe? Good. The only thing that I find that is business about this company is we can be financially free. If you take out the word business, because the word business is actually gives you a lot of stress. It gives me a lot of stress when I say business. It feels like I'm like, I don't have a business degree. Why am I in this business for? So the word business is very, there's a stagnant about this word. But if you just call it Atomy platform, it's a platform. What do you want to do with your life? What do you want for you? And use the platform to live your life. You know the life scenario? I wrote that life scenario the very first month, not knowing what it is. I just browsed the internet because I said I need to learn everything, right? I browsed the internet. And then suddenly this life scenario popped up. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. And so I filled it out. I go, I want to be Star Master in 5 years. That's what I said. And I'm like, how do I know this? I want to make $50,000 in 5 years. I haven't reached that yet, but it's okay. So I wrote those things as a 5-year because I'm putting 5 years of work, right? So the life scenario, why I feel it's important is because I never even knew I was doing life scenario before life scenario because I have this, right? Right? So I'm already doing life scenario. I'm planning my life already. But now you guys have it in a beautiful format that organizes your thoughts for you, that you can revisit. You know, we keep saying dreams are free. It doesn't cost you a dime. You just have to dream, right? And none of us gonna escape death. Who's gonna escape death? Any one of you? You have a ticket? Give it to me? No, right? None of us can escape death. Death is eventual. Why do I say this? Because, you know, during COVID, this is really, you know, a time for us to reflect, a time for us to actually see the future with what we're doing right now currently. So if we are still blaming the world for what is happening within us, then we're not really taking accountability for what is going on as well. And even during the pandemic, you know, this pin came from the pandemic. This pin did not come during good times, you call. This pin came during what you call the worst of times for now. So how does this happen, this pin? How? Because those who understands and who are open-minded, open hearts, who are malleable, who are not stubborn, and instead of focusing on reality, we are creating our dream. Reality, you can focus on reality all you want. You can listen to all the news and make that your day. Okay? But you know the news. The news is also controlled by certain groups of people. You know there are so many people who are doing so many wonderful things in the world, but they never end up on the news. So the world, everything is happening all at once. People are getting married, people are dying, people are giving birth, right? People are losing lives, everything's happening this one instant of a life. But what are you focusing on for yourself? If you're focusing on something that is for your future, then your future is just around the corner. But if you get distracted and continually focusing on something else, then you're not going to see your future, or your future might not be as bright as you want it to be. So although this year was a very tough, 2020 was a very tough year, my husband and I and our team and a lot of us, we just put our head down. Down where? Focus. Focus on what? Focus on our future. Focus on what we can do now. Focus at this one moment that we have to make the decision that can change our lives. Nothing is set in stone. Nothing is set in stone. So when we're focusing on our own things, the universe will carry it forward for us as well. So when I started sharing Atomy the first year, it was such a struggle. I was taught how to share Atomy, which was not actually in alignment with what Atomy system was teaching me. So I was reading and learning, and I'm like, why am I doing this when the system says it's an online shopping mall? Everyone has their account to shop online. Why am I delivering stocks all the time? What is this? So I asked myself, am I going to be a delivery person in Atomy? I go, if I have to be a delivery person in Atomy, I don't think I don't want Atomy anymore, because I don't want to be doing this. But that was what I was taught. And then after 3 months of doing that, I said, no, I have to start from the very beginning. I have to get everyone an account. If they don't buy, I'm not going to deliver. This is your account. You go online and you order yourself. Okay, thank you very much. It might take them 3 months to order. I don't care. It might 1 year their account expire. I don't care. Okay, what do I care? I care that I keep them, I keep sharing what Atomy is to them. So during the time that their account is active, all I can do is keep sharing to them how Atomy can benefit them, what value we are actually getting, what blessings there are, what a beautiful gift we received, what an amazing opportunity we all have. That's all I can share every day. If they don't want to buy for a year, that's your loss, but the door opened and you looked in, right? But if I open the door and I open the account and I did nothing and I just leave their account be, then yeah, that's my fault. Okay. But during the time when they have an active account, I'm here to hold their hand and give them information. And we always say we give, but what are we giving? What are we giving? We cannot give what we do not have, right? So for those who are in Atomy, if you don't like learning, let's say, if you're like, oh, I don't like Zoom, I hate going on Zoom. Or, oh, I can't stand these seminars. They're like a waste of my time. If you don't have time to learn, what are you giving? You're not giving Atomy. You're giving yourself of what you know of your past and whatever you think Atomy is, but you're not giving Atomy. So if you really truly want to represent Atomy properly and to give Atomy in a way that it is meant to be given, please learn. So that's what I did. In the beginning, I was given not Atomy. I was taught the wrong way. Sorry, there's no wrong or right, sorry, in Atomy. But I was taught a way that I don't find I will be successful. That's what I meant. So the person who gave me her. She didn't give me Atomy, okay? So you need to give Atomy. Don't give you, because you are not Atomy. So I have to learn Atomy so then I can give Atomy so they can see Atomy, not see Rebecca. Okay? I want them to see Atomy. So when we say we need to first receive, is we first need to learn to receive. You cannot give what you do not have. Everyone knows the saying. So once we receive something, then we can give. And what are you giving? That's all. Ask that question. What are we giving? Okay, when you're giving someone something, what are you giving? So many people ask a lot of like questions because Atomy sometimes is like, it's too good to be true. Because we kind of take it for granted. When you actually see this company for what it is, it sounds too good to be true. And I'm always blown away when people keep their mind closed and they're like, it's just another network company. I'm like, no, it's not, because I never joined any network company. It's not like any other network company. It is standalone, a company that is going to be a movement to change humanity. Every person in the world can benefit from this. When I see my friends from Cambodia, my partners and people in Malaysia or Indonesia, anywhere, they have no opportunity, right? But yet they're wearing their auto sales master pin proudly. In how many years? 2-3 years? Can they make that income in their country 2-3 years? No. So the company is so fair that every person is humanitarian. There's no separations of who is, just because you're richer, you're better, just because you're prettier, you're better. No, anyone is. I learned that from Jason Shim, you know, when he said, you just need to know how to drive. Do you need to be pretty to get your driver's license? No. So that's Atomy platform. You don't need anything. You just need to learn Atomy. That's exactly what this platform is for. And everyone has talents, everyone has skills, and we need one another to get to the top. No exceptions. So you can work with anyone that makes you happy every single day, because those people are your net to fall on, your shoulder to cry on, you know, the person who's going to lift you up, the person's going to cheer you on, the person's just going to be there for you. You need those people around you. I'm lucky. I have my husband. He's like right beside me every single day. So I'm lucky. But I also have some partners that I tell them my life stories too. So we need those people, because there's people who wants to take you down. I'm not making Atomy as a rainbows and butterflies, right? It's not a unicorn. You can make it like heaven on earth. That's what we're doing with Atomy. We're building heaven on earth. But that doesn't mean the people coming on in the beginning are not going to be negative towards us and say things, this company doesn't work. What are you doing? Are you being brainwashed? Are you like delusional too? So there's going to be those people around you that says, you know, the products are not good. I don't like it. There will be those people, and it gives you doubt because, you know, skincare is the hardest thing to promote. But yet, if they stick to the skincare, their skin's going to be gorgeous. Please stick to Atomy skincare, and that is your last product. When you first have a breakout, you freak out. You take Hemoheme. Oh, you got some rashes. Oh, you got diarrhea. You freak out. Okay? So they're like, I'm not going to take Hemoheme anymore. I got diarrhea. Right? So it pulls us down because it makes us feel like, oh, maybe I don't know so much about the product. But if you absolutely believe that this company concept is absolute quality, this, you know, this is when you have to pay attention to your own thoughts, right? If the company keeps saying absolute quality, absolute quality, absolute quality, and you're like, yeah, but the skincare, I broke out. The skincare is no good. Then you don't believe it's absolute quality. What does absolute quality mean? It means absolute. Why do we break out? It's because toxin within our body has to escape somewhere. When you take Hemoheme, there's detox. All the bad things that you accumulated for years has to go somewhere. So it might come into your, you know, skin. Some people break out taking Hemoheme too. It might come, you know, diarrhea. Maybe your high blood pressure or your diabetes shoot up for a little bit. That is just a part of our cells healing. So if every product in Atomy is absolute quality, non-harmful to the environment, non-harmful to our body, what is coming out of you is you, not the products. It's you. Please remember and please trust that. I know you know, I was just talking to this one friend of mine who I never met for a very long time, and then suddenly she came to my center. I told her, I said, everything's absolute, blah, blah. I go, I know you don't believe me. And she's like, yeah, I don't believe you. I have to read it first. And I'm like, yeah, you got your ID, so go on the website and read, right? But most people will not believe us. They really don't believe you if you actually do not use the products yourself, because they don't see changes in you as well. So the key to Atomy is to first transform you. You are your project first. If you don't even take on the project of you, how can you take on your partner's projects? How can you be a leader to anybody when you haven't even taken the project of yourself into your own two hands? So those are the people who takes their own time to learn, to use the products, to experience the products, to see the results within themselves. That is the receiving first, right? You first have to receive Atomy first, right? That is the receiving. And then you can give. Okay? So first and foremost, it sounds easier, right? Does it sound easy? But many people won't do that. Am I running out of time yet? No. Okay. Many people won't do that. I know for a fact. They would only use, they go, oh, I'm afraid to use this. I don't know if I can use that. I still hear it. After 1 year of Atomy, is this product good? I don't know. I don't know. Is it good for me? I'm like, are you made out of cells? If you're made out of cells, it's good for you. Because everything in Atomy is good for our cells, right? And another thing I want to say here is, I see life. I see everything actually when I went to work in my field in the cosmetic world. I see everything as a game. I don't know if you ever thought of it like that. But to me, life is a game. Everything's a game. Atomy is also a game. So are you one of those who sit behind and watch the game? Are you one of those ones? Or are you one of those who actually partially participate in the game? Or are you one of those who is like fully invested in the game? Which one are you? Are you a Michael Jordan? Or are you maybe one of those wannabes? Or are you one of those bench warmers? Who are you? You need to think about that. Because I say to myself, I involve myself 100%. Maybe that's why I am where I am, because I involve myself 100%. Why do I say 100%? I don't always mean action, okay? But even though in my downtimes, I am visualizing. Even in my downtimes, I am thinking about my partners. I am visualizing success for them, not just for me. And in my downtimes, I'm also learning on how to become a better leader, how to become better at what I do. How do I explain about this product better? Simplify it for people, right? So my downtime is very valuable. You don't have to be go 24/7. You will crack, you will break. So if you are 100% invested in the Atomy game, will your partners complain about you? Will they? They might say, oh, you're going too fast, slow down. But will they ever complain about you? No, because you're always there for them, right? But if you're partially involved, maybe your partners will complain about you. Sometimes you're absent, sometimes you want to do it, and then you just go according to what your schedule is. So you're not really fully participating. Your partner sometimes might want to punch you out too. Okay, and that's how your team fall apart. And I've seen that happen. Okay, so if you partially involve yourself, sometimes you might have to, again, the project is you, work on yourself first before expecting anything from anyone else. But if you are one of those who likes to watch, that's okay too. So some people are still not auto sales master because they just like to watch. Can't help it. That's their choice. No problem. Okay, so I know I can talk a lot and I have a lot of information. So this one, the Royal Leaders Club, is something that I always wanted since the very beginning when I started, because not so much because when we started, Jason, we didn't have pins, remember? Well, you started before me. But my husband reminded me, he's like, we never got pins. There's no such a thing as Leaders Club pin. Now you got Auto Sales Master pin. That never happened the year before, right? So these pins didn't exist. And then I didn't knew about the pin, but once the pin came on, I'm like, oh, I want the Royal Leaders Club pin. Because in my dream and vision, the Royal Leaders Club is the Royal Swan. And when I reach the Royal Swan, then I feel I truly can represent Atomy. I can truly stand here proudly and, say that I am a royal swan. The image we always take pictures with, but we just take pictures with it. We don't really, see that that's us. But now I can really say that I can represent Atomy as a royal swan. So that makes me why I wanted it, right? So last year was a very blessed year for me and a lot of my, partners, and yes, Mr. Crown Leaders Club, Jason Shim. I think it's around the same time because CEO is acknowledging you on the Leaders Conference and you were driving with Judy in the back, right? And then he was also acknowledging me very briefly before he spoke with you. I'm like, oh my God, my mentor. To be in the same platform and the same breath as our CEO, that I cannot ask for more, in this company. And so I think it's coming near, and I just want to say one last thing. Because there's a lot, like I say, there's a lot of things I can share. I actually, you can ask me anything and I can share. But because I understand there's a time limit, we all have to get back to our lives and our partners. So I have to end pretty soon. But the last thing I want to say is something I found very powerful is when we are born, okay, we are born with two seeds. One seed is our parent seed. So if you live in that seed, you're going to grow up like your parents. You're going to act like them when you get older and start behaving and talking like your parents. And the other seed is a seed of possibilities. If you live in the seed of possibilities, you can recreate your life. And when I say recreate your life, is you now can actually live your dreams. You know, I said this once in Korea, and I said, you know, when you love something, it is put there. It's put in your heart for a reason. You love this thing for a reason. Like Michael Jordan loves basketball. It's for a reason. You tell me to play basketball, I think I would just like go home, right? So I love to watch basketball, by the way. I'm a fan of basketball, but I do not play basketball. I play high school basketball, but I failed. I was in the team, but I'm more a bench warmer. So when you have a platform like Atomy, where you can actually live your possibilities, meaning you can dance to your own heartbeat. Isn't that a beautiful platform? All you have to do is share Atomy and live and be true to who you are, as opposed to be what your mom wants you to be, what your husband wants you to be, what your, no, you live in your own platform. So Atomy created this platform for us for free. It's a free opportunity to rewrite our lives. So when we take this platform, we have to live in our dreams now. You must write down your life scenario, dream vividly. And you know how natural it is when you start being yourself and not being someone else? That is where the power lies. The power lies in your own passion of your own dreams. So I said this to my partner, I think 2 days ago. I said, do you even know what the heart is? Do you even know what living from the heart actually means? I'm not talking about the beeping, bumping heart that keep us alive, but I'm talking about the metaphor of our heart. Do you even know what that means? When we have a certain emotion, a feeling, a love that comes out of us because we saw something that inspired us, that is the feeling of your heart speaking to you. So if you open that chest, you will find all the treasures hidden in your heart. The chest, underneath your chest is your heart, is a metaphor. Please take it seriously and be inspired by your own heartbeat, not someone else's. And once you find that, you will be inspired and you will have the guidance from your own GPS. Everyone has a natural instinct, right? Every day you have instincts, right? When the situation comes into your life. The Creator will guide you because everyone's journey is unique. Not one success story will have the same story. That's why I call this a platform, not a business. So an 80-year-old can be a Sharon Rose Master. A 25-year-old can be a Sharon Rose Master. Why can't I? Right? It's a platform. And the more love you give, the more your partners will bind with you. The more you create your reality and your dreams, the more you want it for other people, the more you will be successful. So we know what you give out is what you get back. Not only in action, but in thoughts, in words, aligned with your heart, with your actions, inspired by you, your creation has to happen. Your dreams must manifest. Your reality will change. So it's easier said than done. I know that. I know that because in the 5 years, I didn't walk in the path of petals. Okay, I got some nails too. I got some stone thrown at me as well. I got some bricks that stopped me on my footsteps. But that didn't discourage me because all those things were just making me stronger. And those are all stories to my road to success, right? So without those stories, I wouldn't have what I have now. So to end, I wrote down here, we came here with nothing. Yeah? We came here with nothing. Who came here with something? Did you have a gold in your teeth or something? No. We came here with nothing, and we're going to leave with nothing. Is that true? So Atomy's platform, you can leave a legacy for your children. Okay? And you can be a part of a movement for a greater humanity, for a better humanity. And when you leave, you will leave the world a better place than when you came, hopefully, right? So thank you so much, everyone, for listening, and thank you for your time to join me. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Miss Rebecca Wang, Star Master Royal Leaders Club member. It's such an amazing wisdom and such an amazing words that we all have to remember. Let's give a big round of applause. Let's give all we can give, please. Wow, I'm so honored and I'm so thankful to have you as my guest speaker today. And thanks so much for sharing your story. Thanks so much for sharing your wisdom. I wrote almost 3 pages of your note. It's amazing. And what you said is, you had a goal to become a boss, without because that's why you just worked the 1 or 2 years in each company and learn as much as you can, because you had a goal. You could do, you had a direction, so you're moving forward. And even though you don't have a working sponsor, and when you started, you have only like a 3 staff in the Atomy Canada, and I understand how horrible situation in Canada when they started Atomy. Even though people made it out, even though people figured it out, and people like you, we appreciate, because you made it out of this difficult situation, and that's why we want to salute you one more time. And from now on, I want to run this seminar like a book. What is that? The book club. We just read an amazing book from the author Rebecca Wong, right? Her amazing story and her experience with Atomy, and how amazing that that little thing, asking for donation money with oral care, made one person to become a Royal Leaders Club member in the future. Everything you do will be counted. So do something, right? Right? So who wants to share your the feeling or your heart with us? Raise your hand if you. I'm gonna 1 second. Okay, you could unmute yourself now. Okay, Mr. Craig
I
Chin,
do.
you could go ahead.
Okay, hi. This is Sherman's Master Craig Chin from. Actually, I live in Taiwan right now, in Taipei, Taiwan, and I have an honor to invite Rebecca back 2.5 years ago to my Zoom meeting to share with everybody, and I learned so much from her for the first time, because I think I learned that she tried to tell her member to show their plan to her. Instead, they try to make a plan for their members. So I try to use that strategy that works very well, and they are member to realize that that's their own business, not our business. No, well, it's our business, but also each working member's business. I think she actually she said she's a people person, and she actually fits very well with the Atomy business, because this business is Atomy, is a person business. And plus, she said she has no prior MLM experience. Actually, I found that myself too. It's better to find those doesn't have MLM experience. It's actually easier to learn, faster to learn, because I've been talking to some people just recently with the MLM business, and they always think about their own way of doing MLM, and try to how to work with the Atomy. You know?
Wait,
So
what you
you know,
want?
that is actually more difficult. So I think it's our advantage that we did not have an MLM experience, but that's a decision that she made by herself and serving humanity, and let the system work for you. And that is a great advice. Thank you, Rebecca.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with what Craig said. You know, if you just have a attitude to serve people instead of trying to become a boss, that's the attitude that we all have to serve, just like our company model. Thank you, making comment to Craig Chin. Do you like to say anything, Rebecca? It's okay if you don't have to. You don't have to. Actually,
Is she
we
still out?
I'm still here. Yes, I'm still here.
okay. Actually, I like to invite another very good friend of mine. His name is Ming. Let's hear a little bit of from Ming. Ming, can you share? I give you 30 seconds.
Ming Yu.
Ming.
Jason.
Welcome,
1 second.
Ming.
Let me see if I can get myself back on here first.
You are here now. You are online.
I was just about to exit, you know.
See, I caught on the right
You
time.
caught me at the right time.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, hi, everyone.